Hello everybody, how's everyone doing out there? Well, today we're going to do a little different video than what I normally do, and kind of go over comments and questions, now a little housekeeping as you may call it. And some of these are going to be some comments from people that are bad, and I'm going to answer them, and some are going to be just questions, and some are going to be good comments. I may not go over every comment that we get on our vlog, of course. You know, there's a lot of short and simple ones and all, but I am going to cover some. And I am going to share that on the screen with you at the same time. So, let me get the screen here recording, and we will begin this. All right, so now I've got the screen recording here on the laptop, and we'll start with this comment right here. This is a video of Melinda and I walking down the beach together, joking, and we're joking about, you know, I'm gonna have to go find Jenny. Now, I'm gonna read the comment here. This person wrote, "You're a D-head for talking to your woman like that. Jenny who? Jenny who? Very degrading. Maybe that's why you didn't have a good relationship in the U.S. You tease your woman to find another, but younger. Your jokes are really funny. Grow up." Sarcastically meaning that they're not funny, you know. So, here's my responses. You can read along right here. I said, well. It's a joke between my wife and I, and most of the viewers know it. Jenny is my wife, not another woman. It is her alter ego. My wife had an email long ago when we very first met that was male Jenny. And I asked, who is Jenny? And it was the name that she used working at a clothing store. She worked in Boracay, and she worked at one of the gift shop clothing stores there. She worked there for a long time. I've been there and met her previous employer and her co-workers. The last time we went there, they're still working there, and she hasn't worked there in years and years. So that's the deal with that. And I said she did not want people knowing her real name or where she lived. So I teased her, Jenny is the naughty girl side, you know, like maybe the Boracay party girl, you know. And she said yes, joking, and then would act like a different person for me, you know, just pretending, pressing around to be naughty Jenny. We started making the joke on our vlog, and as we traveled, Jenny would appear and be on our trips or in our hotel room or just having fun, and my wife, Melinda, is the one who started the whole Jenny thing, not me. I said, you instantly took it as a reason to attack me and call me names and insult me deeply out of your own ignorance of the situation, which of course, if you didn't know, you're thinking, man, this guy's a jerk talking about his wife, and maybe a bunch of you also thought the same thing. But it's just a little old lighthearted joke. Melinda is a pure joker. We have a lot of banter and humor between each other every day of our life that you guys just don't know. Y'all just kind of see it straightforward on camera, right? Y'all don't realize how much Melinda and I play and joke around like kids, man. We have a impeccable marriage, I'm telling you. And she is my best friend, and I love her deeply. And we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of jokes, you know. I'm James, but then I'm Jim, and she's Jenny, and we have our alter egos, you know. And we just play with it. This is a vlog. And the vlog, it can be educational, but it's also entertainment. And it's some entertainment, man, you know, don't be so uptight. So that's the deal with that. And then I told him that she also does a smug, upscale Latino Isabella. And Isabella is a rich, high-class woman. Oh, I think Isabella just peeked out of the room. And I said, it's such a shame that it turns out that he's the D, you know, the D head, not me. for writing such a rude comment, which he's probably just trying to defend Melinda. Loosen up, enjoy life, my friend. It's short and not worth wasting, you know, this kind of time on. So that's the deal with that for all of you that maybe wondered too, you know, who's Jenny? What's he talking about? What a jerk. So it's a joke between Mel and I that's been going for a long time, before this vlog ever existed. And it's just us having a little fun, a little humor. Some people don't get it or don't like it. I don't care. She don't care. We're going to be who we are, and we're going to enjoy what we enjoy. And you can watch it or not watch it, but we're just real. We're just real people having real fun, and we're not trying to be, you know, with a stick up our rear, you know. So that's just the way it is. So we're going to leave this screen, and we're going to go. And I'm just going to work down them. I'm going to kind of speed down. I'm going to skip probably quite a few comments. So right here, Jeff wrote that he bought a cheap battery hammer drill along with a hand grinder from the same make here off of Amazon. It's only 110 volt, but he loves the hammer drill there. My workers don't like the grinder because the battery goes quick. It's fine for small jobs. I don't like those battery operated grinders at all. I've had several of them, and they just don't have no oomph to them. I don't know. I had them, and I've maybe still have one right now and don't even use it or something. I don't know. I just don't like it. I like the strength of a real corded grinder. So I can see what they're talking about on that. Having a battery operated hammer drill can be handy though, for real. But I bought those two and they just did not last. We'll move on here. We were talking about tools in this video and about these companies selling out their long, hard-earned brand that they got from making good quality tools and selling it out quick now for a quick buck, putting inferior parts and letting other countries outside of their own manufacture them now. So let's move on down right here. And these are public comments, so anybody can read them. It's not I got anything to hide here or nothing like that. Let's just kind of see right here. Once again, talking about tools and the name brands and how they've all just kind of went to, yeah. Somebody asking how much the outboard motor was from an old video. That video right there has probably got like close to 600,000 views though. Again, thank you for the nice comments that I get down through here from people. People ask me if I repair drones because I did a video, but there's a company in Manila, Lazarus Drones. Lazarus Drones, you can find them on Facebook. We're gonna get on down to some other things. Here's somebody giving me some advice when I'm about mooring out the boat about putting 2 snub lines from the chain to both bow cleats so that the chain won't damage the boat. I appreciate that. I've got it set up how I'm gonna do it already. Watch, you know, there's a lot of different ways you can do it, but I do appreciate that very much. Watch how I'm gonna do it on this. There's many different ways it can be done now. The Inhale tools here, they're saying that they sell those down in New Zealand underneath some different names, and they've been good tools too. I hope they are. I've got, let's see, I've got a drill with them now in that Inhale. I've got a router with them now. I used the drill for the first time today. Seemed pretty good, strong, solid feeling. Chuck felt really good on it. It's nice having new chuck. The other one was wore out on that that Bosch drill. So let's see, I have drill, I have the router now, I have the multi-tool, I have the skill saw. I know I have all of those with them in that Inhale brand. Now on the skill saw, the problem that I've had on it is that the little button you have to push to make the trigger come in, the little safety button, not long after I bought it, that little button popped right out. And now for me to get the saw to come on, I have to lean it to one side so that something in there drops down and releases so I can pull the trigger. Aggravating as heck. And I don't know how to get it warranted or anything done about it. Maybe I need to write them and ask. I just get so busy. But that is a little aggravating. I might end up sticking something in there just to hold it so I can just pull the trigger, but that's a little scary too. I like having the safety. There's a reason why it's there. And what else on that saw? The guard sticks. The guard will stick back, and and you gotta be careful, man. Don't swing it down thinking there's a guard and hit your leg, because you're gonna be in some serious problems. So that's the deal with that. We'll see, but I'm still buying their brand. I've been overall happy. I can buy it here local, and we'll see. I decided I just buy everything to match, and maybe if I write them and show them a picture that I've got all your tools here, help me out on this repairs, maybe they might see me as a loyal customer or something. Dennis, which is also AKA Two Beers. James, why don't you waste your money on a big old mooring ball? A white plastic beach bottle or two will work just as well. And it's easily replaceable. Well, no, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that. I've already been down that road in the past. The locals here would just pull up out there in the dark and cut them loose and use them on their fishing net or whatever. I'm serious. I'm really serious. It's hard to hold on to those things, man. It's really, I'm telling you, it's got to be more than a bleach bottle. And then the next thing is that, yeah, you know, you're tied off on that little handle or whatever. The sun, the UV rays eat the bottle up. The little handle where you got the rope tied through breaks. Your rope falls, or your chain, whatever you got on your mooring, and it falls, and then the shifting sands constantly. In just a few hours has it buried. You get up the next morning and you can't find your mooring anymore because it's all buried in the sand. I'm going to do it better than that now. I have already made my mooring ball, and I made it myself, and I have a video that'll come out in the next day or so of that. I've already done it all. It's a done deal. So check out what I did, and I appreciate you, Dennis, very much. Hope to see you again sometime, buddy. It's been a while since you've been out here. Don't know if you're in the Philippines right now or if you're back here in Iloilo, Pavia. The bill's looking good. Thank you for that. We're going to keep on moving here. Someone wrote here, though, James, your power tools have just been used a lot and have reached its limit. Listen, we have went through a lot of hammer drills during this build. It's not like I just had that one and used it for the whole thing. Man, I have bought real Makita, not fake Makita, not that clone Makita, real Makita from a real Makita dealer, and it did not hold up. Then I had a real Makita from the United States, a 110 volt one, brought it here. Man, just used it a few times, barely used it back in the States, stayed in its nice pretty case all the time. Brought it here, Mach and I used it just a few times, and the trigger went out. Man, what the heck, you know, what the heck. So I took it around to the shops everywhere and all, nobody could fix it, and that was that. Then I bought this Bosch, which is a real Bosch, not a fake Bosch, from a real Bosch dealer. They can guarantee me all of it, and I can call their reps, because I questioned that when I was buying it. And the Bosch was pretty good overall, but the hammer mechanism gave us trouble, and sometimes it hammered, sometimes it wouldn't, and to get things warranty here can be really, really tough. So I ended up losing the hammer feature, and it would just drill only. Took it apart, the mechanism there that does the hammer, it's a one-piece deal that would have to be replaced. I'd have to try to order that part. I asked around again to the repair facilities that they could get that part, No, they were just doing basic things there, you know, carbons and this and that. So no luck again. I've went through, I can't tell you, numerous others. I've had the Lotus brand here, several of those. I've had DeWalt. I gave some away, and I have like a pile of broken power tools in my garage down against the wall that I'm going to go donate to a place. Grinders and everything that, you know, they use all these carbon tools here. What I mean by carbon, they have the carbon brushes, and the brushes, man, they just burn out. But they don't like the brushless tools here. They like the brush, and I don't know why. I really don't know why. If you know, explain why do they still like to just have that old school carbon brush tools here instead of the brushless? If you can tell me, then we'll all know. Okay, write it in the comments. So I bought in the cordless. I bought like Ryobi. I bought a full-on hammer drill, cordless hammer drill, and used it for a little while. It was kind of handy to have, and we're not talking about looks like your conventional drill motor. We're talking about something that looks more like a Hilti or something like a dedicated real demolition hammer. That's what it's called, the demolition hammer. And eventually it failed. So I contacted Ryobi about it, and they actually, you know, made an effort to try to make it good. And they said that they had stopped making that model or whatever, and they had a new model, and if I would just pay the difference between the new model and the old model, they would send me the new model. And but it costs more. Seems like they are just made me whole. But nonetheless, I paid them a little difference, and they sent me this like really heavier duty looking demolition drill. Man, I said, wow, what's some improvements? I was looking at this and this and this. You know, it's got snap-in bits and all that. And man, I was so excited. Received it at my house in Texas because I bought all that in Texas. We came back here, threw it in the suitcase. Woohoo, boy, we're gonna have a bad boy now, man. This thing looked awesome. It looked like some quality stuff, man. It quit within a week. And it's in the pile down there. And I'm here, and at that point in time, we had just come back here. It's gonna be, you know, be 11 months before we leave again. And so they won't warranty it with me being in the Philippines, only back there to Texas. So, and the tools here, it's not there. Yeah, so it ended up in the pile too. So there you go. I have bought some Milwaukee tools here, real Milwaukees, not the fake Milwaukees. You can really tell. Check out the power cord. The power cord a lot will tell you if it's a real one or not. If it got a little skinny cheap ass cord on it, it's probably not a real Milwaukee. But I bought like Milwaukee grinder and stuff like that, man. Really nice, really nice. I like it. But very pricey, very, very pricey. I bought that big 8-inch grinder from them, heavy, nice. And now it's really held up good, but it doesn't get used all the time. We have been using it here again recently because we buff over that concrete joints and stuff with that big cupped diamond wheel. That's really the main reason I bought it. It's doing, you know, great for doing that finish over those joints and places where you might have slag and all that, and just knock all that slag right off. All right, let's move on. People complimenting the property. I thank you very much for that. Somebody wrote something there kind of rude, and it triggered some negative responses, and I won't get into that, but I will say it like this. Please don't think that because that I'm an American here living in the Philippines, that all I'm gonna do is bash Filipinos. I'm married to a Filipina. I'm raising my niece here right behind me. She probably walked by just a minute ago, right here. All my wife's family that I love with all my heart are all Filipinos. I have spent 21 years of my adult life back and forth over here. Not come for 2 weeks and don't come again till next year. Spending about half my year in the Philippines, half my year back in Texas when I was still having to work. I didn't work for a company, I had my own company. But I would balance my work that I would spend the coldest time of the year back in Texas when it was hard to build. I would come here. I would come here in the hottest time back in Texas and it was hard to build. And I would take those times in between and build, and I would schedule my jobs accordingly. And since I was 35 years old, I guess, I've been coming here to the Philippines, and I, for years, spent about half my year here. And now I'm here pretty much full time. For y'all that hadn't noticed, the past couple years, Mel and I have only went home for a few weeks. I say home, back to Texas for just a few weeks, not months or anything, literally just weeks, and we're right back over here. So it's the vacation spot there now. Now back there is just the vacation spot. But my life is here. My life wouldn't be here if I didn't love the Filipino people. It was the Filipino people that was the most attractive thing here for me. Is there things that aggravate me? Yes. Is there some mindsets that aggravate me? Yes. Is there some of their ways of doing things aggravates me? Yes. Do I hate them? No. Because you know what? Back in the States, there's things that aggravate me. And back in the States, there's things that I don't understand that people do. Every place, every culture has its pluses and minuses. And I would have to say that I like a whole lot more of some of the things that happen here and happens here than back in the States. But I love my country. I'm a very proud Texan. I'm a very proud American. But I'm also very proud to my life here in the Philippines. And I'm asking, please don't use my channel or my comment section to rant about your aggravations towards the Filipinos. Like, you know, they're just lazy, good for nothing, this and that, blah, 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 and they'll steal you blind, all that kind of stuff. Listen, I get it. I get it that there's bad characters, but there's bad characters everywhere, everywhere. And there is some damn good people here too. And some of them that you might be hiring or working for you are just lack of education. They maybe really grew up in poverty and they haven't had tools of their own to manage and take care of. They just live a simple life and they're laborers. And they see your big life and they have so little, and you know, it's hard for them to, how would I say it? Sometimes they don't feel so guilty because maybe they got a little bit off of you because you got so much plenty, you know. And think about things and put yourself in their shoes sometimes too. Would you be the human being and the character you are if you grew up in a different situation? You ever seen that movie, I have to remember it now, with Eddie Murphy, where he was like this poor bum person and they gave him money and they made bets on him to see how he would change, what kind of person he would be. I'm trying to remember that. If y'all remember the name of that movie, post it here in the comments. You know, it was very interesting. That was a very interesting movie, how that turned out. But let's just don't use my channel as a platform to try to put like they're bad people or anything like that. In fact, this was the person right there, and I said, just ignore the bad attitude people, my friend, because that's a Filipino who watches my channel, and I appreciate him. And I appreciate our Filipino viewers, and I'm not going to use my channel as some platform to rant like, you know, they're all bad people or something. So let's don't do that. And there was that comment from earlier. We'll move right on past that one. We've already went over it. Now we're to the boat video that I showed us out on the water. The pontoons ride nice and high. Lots of reserve buoyancy, sure is. Let's see what here, pulling tape's fun. That's when I was pulling the tape, showing the boat being painted. This is where I asked if people like tilapia, and the people that commented, I probably got like 90% no's, or maybe even 99% no's. And I think one person commented that, you know, gave the whole long shopping list of all the things and all the ingredients to add to cook the tilapia. And that's what I said in the video. Do you like the taste of it as it is, without trying to put tenju and things to make it taste good, you know? And a lot of those ingredients they were talking about, you know, crack the eggs and put this and put that. And I said, I'd rather just eat the eggs. Instead of turning the egg into a batter, I'd just rather have the egg and not even worry about the tilapia. Here's a gentleman, he was asking where we live, if maybe we live in Antique, that his wife and her family are from Miagao. I tell him we're here in Tikbawan. Miagao is 2 towns down right here, and it's a very nice place. Beautiful church with some wonderful history. Isabella, is that you?
Yes.
Or is that Jeannie? Is it Jeannie or Isabella tonight?
Jeannie.
It's Jeannie tonight. Woo! All right. So I had to check Jeannie out real quick. I like Jeannie. Jeannie, I'll see you later.
See you later.
So let's go on down through here a little bit more. So this Bob Brooks right here, he wrote that I had a commercial license for about 20 years. I just had to explain to the LTO that I needed this for my elf truck, which an elf truck is in a big Isuzu truck, like a flatbed, or you can get them boxes or whatever on them. Work truck, that's like a cab over truck, is an elf truck. So I need it for my elf truck. I built their house, and every renewal they just kept giving it to me, you know, renewing, giving him the commercial license again. I stopped driving a couple years ago, and now no idea at all. So that was where I was talking about that here in the Philippines, that, you know, that even pulling a trailer, it don't matter if it's tiny little old lawnmower trailer, as we call back in the States, that you're supposed to have a commercial license here in this country, and normally they don't like to give them to foreigners. So check that out and be prepared. This Extraordinary Horizons, they're new to me. It's some guys, I believe, down in Florida. I checked them out. They've got this, as they say right there, they're 65-foot liveaboard catamaran. It's a power cat, it's not a sail cat. It's a big old boat, boy, big old boat, but they're having to do a lot of repairs. You can tell it's went through some rough years, and they're in there working on it. I haven't caught their newest videos here recently. I need to go check and see. They don't really do a lot of commentary in the videos or anything like that. They just kind of show what they're doing and show the dog. If you do watch this video, Extraordinary Horizons, you might want to add a little bit of your personality into it, and tell what you're, you know, really explain and tell what you're doing and what your goals and stuff are right there. I watched several of your videos, and I've seen a lot of work and showing where work had been done, but kind of you're on your channel, kind of as people are tuning in to watch you, kind of keep them apprised of what your goal, what your journey is, what the history is on the boat. Kind of tell a little bit about it, and I appreciate you commenting and watching our videos, and they follow along with all of our boat stuff. And check them out if y'all want to. Check out and see what they got going on. They are a YouTube channel. This one was referring to the young Spanish couple here, and they just checked out today. I really enjoyed them. They were such sweethearts. This is about the color, that dark yellow, that he called it a mustard right here, against the dark blue. Actually doesn't look that bad. Appreciate that. I really like it. It looks wonderful sitting out there on the beach too. It's got that tropical beach vibe to it, you know. It's a nice accessory just sitting on the shore. Have you thought about buying a winch to bring the bonka to shore? No, but I will have a way that I'm going to be doing that. Just continue to watch and I'll get around to it, and appreciate that. I don't want to keep up with the winch here. Listen, the salt air just tears everything up. Man, for a winch that would hold up here would be a very expensive winch. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with the cables. I don't want to deal with the worry of somebody messing with it. I don't want to deal with if it's, you know, got rope, that the sun ate the rope up or it pops loose. I don't want to deal with it. But I do have a way that Mel and I will be able to bring the boat in and out ourselves here in the future that won't require us always having to have a lot of other people. And then the boat won't always have to come back up on the shore, because I don't want to rub it up too much on the bottom and worry about that. So it is going to get moored out quite a bit also. And then if bad weather's coming in, all the fishermen, everybody brings their boats in, and we'll bring mine in also. And sometimes by hand, sometimes by the other way I'm going to be doing it. Continue watching. Continue watching. That's what's called content. Appreciate you though very much. I really do. I do appreciate it. It's just so tough. Salt water is a whole different game, and you're always replacing, you're always servicing, and so the least you can have of that kind of stuff, the better. This must have been a little out and dry video that they were on to, and I have no idea what this person was talking about. Turn down that horrible sound. Have no clue. It's an old video, and I'm not going to watch it to figure out. Hi James, buy tarpaulin and cover the middle of the boat because the sun eats all the cables, etc., motor and all that. Listen, it's probably where I showed those bad boat cables, those shift cables. Man, a quality set of cables will last for years and years and years out in the sun, because that's what they're designed to do. And if they don't, they're just junk cables, Grace. But I really appreciate it. Grace had a little boat before that they enjoyed with and all. Another thing here is, oh, that wasn't Grace that said that. She's talking about the color. It's CrossFit up here. It said buy a tarpaulin. Continue to watch. There is going to be something kind of like a tarpaulin going on there, but listen, less is best, and I don't want to just keep adding and adding and adding, endless adding onto the boat, but there is something coming on a little bit like what you're talking about. But I put quality Yamaha, real Yamaha brand cables on that they shouldn't do that, and I should get a good long last out of them. Those Amazon ones, nope. So Grace wrote that the color is very fitting to the style of boat. Very beautiful choice. Grace, she writes some wonderful comments sometimes, and she tells me some stories of her life and her late husband and all, and a little boat they had and everything. And she's just such a wonderful viewer. Grace, if you see this, just know you're always such a warm part of this channel. If your name ever disappears from popping up in our comments, we're definitely going to be sad. Take care of yourself, and we really appreciate you. Super Senior Boat in the Water at last. Good music also. Thank you. I'm with you. The yellow looks better. I appreciate that. I'm going to kind of move on down right here. A lot of people referring to the color, and that's nice. Really nice comments on all that. I do want to cover this one right here with Jerry Marshall. Your Bonka trimaran rides well, James. And he did a lot of commenting during the video series of me building that boat, okay? And he's a great commenter. Appreciate him very much. So he said, your Banca trimaran rods. Well, James, is there some way to add chines on the inside edges of the sponsons? It looked like as you were cutting through certain ways, you were getting splash from the inside edges of them. Color really pops, has unique combination and originality. Great job for all your hard work. And he was talking about a tropical depression that came through out by Guam. We've had a lot of inflow that we haven't really caught the rain, but we've had a lot of steady winds and cooler air this year. Real blessing. A lot more rain. And also I want to say there that he's been through a surgery, and Jerry, we really hope that you're getting better. So now let's talk about what he had to say right there. Chines, I was just talking to Cap, I think I even wrote that to him right here, yeah, that about the same thing by adding chines to the inside, and was explaining it to him. Really simple to do. So a chine is like a lip. Let's just say like this is the side of the boat right here. And if you made like a little rail stick out down through there, anything a little lip out, that is a chine, and that diverts water. It diverts water. Sometimes a chine will be flat, and sometimes it'll have a roll over at the edge, and that turns water back down, spraying back down, or just keeps it from spraying up and throws it out more. A chine for that particular situation on that, I wouldn't want it to throw it out because it would cut the water even more over to me. So it would need to have a more rounded, rolled over edge to turn that water and spit it back down. But that's a chine that runs down a boat, and they can be in many different configurations and places on the boat. They're very important. And even when I was building it, I was telling that maybe, you know, to the people that was coming by here and Cap helping me out, that maybe I might need to put a chine down that inside. I said that all along. It was going, I don't know, something I can still add on, so I can make it and still glass it in, but I'll have to scuff up my gel coat so I can get a bond. I'll have to grind down through the gel coat. Probably, you know, want to resin it on there to get a good seal, a good bond. Attach it, and then I'm gonna need to glass over it for protection. If I was in the West somewhere that was able to have them shipped, there's actually even some rubber ones made by some companies that you can go through and put on that are like pre-molded rubber for making a chine down. But anyway, that's the deal with that. It's not too bad. Listen, that boat ride, you may not be able to tell because these modern cameras, they really flatten everything out. You can be on a motorcycle on a really steep grade going down to where you're geared down and riding your brakes, and you know, you're using your engine as a brake. And on the camera, it looks like you're like this, but you're really like this. Or you're going up like this, and it looks like you're like this. And it's the same thing on the water. I watch a lot of sailing channels, and they were even referring that. I see it all the time, man. They're talking about the big old swells they're riding over, and oh my God, here comes another one. And on camera, it doesn't look like nothing. And you're like, what? But the fact is, the real world, they are really bobbing it up and down. It's just these modern cameras and softwares with these action things they do, they make everything move real fluid and soft, and the software levels all that out. This camera I'm recording with right now does that. I could spin this camera around fast, but it's gonna make it look fluid and smooth coming around. So the reason I'm telling that is because both times that Cap and I took the boat out on a shakedown, both times we got out there and the weather tried to turn up in the afternoons when you usually get a lot of storms, but that's when the tide was up and we didn't have to try to get the boat out on the other side of the sandbar and everything. So I was probably in about the roughest waters, and you couldn't tell it in that video, that I would probably normally be out in that boat, unless like rougher if a massive storm came, you know, surprise storm or something. But if you look at some of that video, you'll see that the front of the boat was getting air, that those sponsons, those outer canoes, as you might want to call them, pontoons as some people want to call them, the trimaran, you'll see they were getting air out underneath them. It's because we was coming up over some big waves, and sometimes we'd go down and the prop would come up out of the water in the back. I know you all don't see all of that. You don't see it. It looked flattened out to you, but we were actually riding some pretty big swells out there. So, and he said it looked, so he said your Banca Trimaran rides well. Is there some way to add chines? And he said it looked as you were cutting through certain waves, you were getting splashed. Yeah, because we were cutting through some pretty good sized waves. Colors really pop. Those waves, when you ride over the peak of it, of course, then our sponsons, our pontoons, canoes on the outside, they're going to sink deeper in the water because each end of it is more out of the water, according to how big the wave is and what the trough is on it. And that's about the only time I was really getting splashed. If we had just normal weather out there running and all, it's no big deal. But don't buy a boat and don't build a boat if you don't want to get wet. Yeah, if you don't want to get wet, man, stay on a cruise ship or something, But yeah, if you don't want to get wet, don't get in a boat. That's all I can say, and especially a little boat. So, and let's all hope that Jerry gets to feeling better. So let's move on down through here a little bit more. Yellow is a great color. Appreciate that. I want to keep on moving here. Let's move on down through. A lot of great comments. I'm not trying to skip anybody. I'm not trying to go comment by comment. Yeah, that 360 camera does some cool stuff. Brilliant. At last, a ride around the bay and home. So it's not really a bay. This is the Sulu Sea out here. So it's the Panay Gulf that's off of the Sulu Sea and the West Philippine Sea, which all opens out into the Chinese, South China Sea. So, which they try to claim a little bit further than other people want, the whole 9-dash thing. So these are pretty deep waters out here. They kind of go from 4 to 10,000 feet deep up here. Just offshore here, they're 300-400 foot deep. So we have this little area here that the water's shallow, 10 deep and drops to 60, then to 300, kind of quick. Then all of a sudden, 600, 800, 1200, then all of a sudden 4,000, like it just drops off a cliff, and then all the way down to 10,000. So pretty deep waters, and that's just right out here. This is what I'm talking about. It's in eye shot. I'm not talking about a jillion miles away from here. I'm talking about in eye shot. It gets that deep. Look it up yourself, do your homework, look it up yourself. The data's out there. So yeah, it was nice to take it out there, but you gotta remember, I'm not in a little, reason I'm saying that, I'm not in a little protected bay. There's no Coast Guard here that's gonna come to my rescue immediately. There is a Coast Guard, but it's not gonna be on the same level that we're used to in the West. They do have Coast Guard here, and they're great people, and it is improving. They are getting more, but it's not on the level of what you're thinking of in the West, and there's no towboat company or anything like that. So you need to be careful. You need to take a lot of your own responsibility, and these waters turn rough out here. They really do. So you need to always be aware and take a lot of extra precaution. Did y'all notice that I had a trolling motor over there to the side strapped onto one of the cross beams? And that trolling motor is so handy because when I back off shore right here, if I don't have that Yamaha outboard started yet, I can just power it back with that little electric trolling motor and get turned around pointing towards the sea, you know. It got reverse on the Yamaha, but maybe you don't want to eat up any sand or stone right there in the shallows. So that's kind of cool. And it's a backup to get me to some safety somewhere if I need it to. If something happened with the motor, get into the shallows enough that you can throw an anchor, anything like that. So, and then still have oars too, you know, do what you gotta do. We still got some collapsible oars that's got the aluminum handles that telescope out and plastic PVC ends on it. So we have those down in the front of the boat as well. There's life jackets, everything for the people that maybe didn't see that stuff and thinks that we don't have any concern for safety. We do. And I have 2 kill switches, one up at the remote and one at the motor back there, if I need to, you know, do a kill or anything too. So there you go right there. Ronald being funny. Saying the outrigger set down perfectly in the water right here. Boy, they do. That is really great. Ask if I put a brass strip or something on the keel. No, you have a good thing right there. It says your outrigger set down perfectly in the water and could even take more weight. Did you put a brass strip or something on the keel? Maybe add a depth finder to your little ship. Looks great. I do have a little depth finder, but I don't know if it'll go that deep for these waters that my brother-in-law brought from Sweden. It's kind of old, out of date, but it would probably give that. It's not really important to me. A brass strip or something on the keel. I don't know if you mean out there on those sponsons on those little outer canoes or pontoons you want to call them. But I'm glad I just read that. I have down in my cabinet in the garage 2 keel guards made by 3M that it's a rubber in a V-like shape when you put it on that well, you can just bend it to shape that would go right on your keel and adhere to it. So you would rough that area up a little bit with a little bit of sandpaper. A lot of times your gel coat's going to have a wax inside of it that helps finish it off and give it a nice glaze. You might need to kind of sand that and break that wax off that surface. Wipe it down good with some thinner or some acetone if you have some. And then put this 3M rubber keel guard on. I need to go do that. I need to really do that. I saw out here at the beach where one of them was leaned over at the sand and a little bit of waves came and kind of moved the boat. It kind of rubbed up on my gel coat some right there, a little small place, and I said, man, it's just going to get worse. I need that rubber on there to protect it. But then I also got online and I ordered this bed liner material, and it's on its way. And I thought I would put those keel guards on those 2 pontoons or sponsons as some want to call it, and then I would come back over it, tape off, and come back over it and spray that bed liner material over that, because what it would do is seal and bond that edge and maybe help hold those on there, better grip against, you know, getting pulled loose or anything. And spray right over all of it. Maybe go above the keel guard, up about this high above it, and spray many coats. I bought enough of it that hopefully it's pretty good. Now this stuff, I've never bought it before. I ordered it online. They had sold a lot of it, and there were so many feedbacks with pictures and people showing their projects and their follow-ups and stuff saying that it did super good. They were still selling a ton of it, and I put it in my shopping cart and then had never actually hit, you know, and went through with the deal. And I came back and man, they were about sold out, and I managed to get the last 4 cans that seller had at the moment, and they had sold a lot of it. So I hope it's good stuff. And I have decided that underneath that boat, on that keel on the main boat, that was originally just wood, right? And that here in the Philippines, they call that a slipper, slipping in and out on the sand, and it's sacrificial, it grinds away. Now, I fiberglassed over that, okay? And I put fillet down the edges, gave it a radius, and I fiberglassed over that. I put many layers, and I put a lot of gel coat. But the fact is I need to give it some attention immediately, and I want to put a slipper back on it again. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a wooden slipper over that one, because that one that was on there was already wore down some, and it don't hurt if you have those things really tall. Really, it's nice because it holds it off out of the sand and all better at the shore. And so I'm gonna put maybe like a 2.5 inch on to the one that's already there, and what I'm going to do is bond it along the bottom, but I'm also going to have bolts countersunk up, stainless steel bolts, and I'm going to mix resin and crank those bolts with resin up around them in from that bottom. And I'm going to take my 3M wait, I just told that wrong. I have 3M 5200, which is below the waterline sealant. I'm going to drill the holes where those bolts are going to screw into the existing one through the fiberglass. And then I'm going to have everything ready. And then my new wooden slipper that I'm going to put over the fiberglass then one, I'm going to countersink the holes up in there, maybe like 1.5 inches. So that slipper can wear off about 1.5 inches before the head of that bolt is down rubbing on the sand. So they give me a long time, and by the time it wears down that low, make a new one again. It's sacrificial. But I'm gonna bolt it up through, and now I don't want water to weep around the threads and damage and get in behind my fiberglass up there. So I'm gonna take the 3M 5200, pump it in the hole, put it on top of that new slipper piece, and then crank it up there or impact it up there, and that will take care of that. So there you give you a little bit of information on that. Really great comments on the boat. Really great comments. I really enjoy building it. I'm still doing some more stuff to it, but I have taken a few days of break away from it because I have other things I need to address around here, and I just need a little break from it. You know, sometimes you walk away from something, take a little break, you come back even more excited to be doing it. Filipino maybe wrote this. One, he said, wow, Pogi Banca, you know, Pogi, you know, like handsome, good looking, you know, Tisoy. If you don't know what all of that means, you know, Tisoy, handsome, yeah, good looking, Pogi, you know. Yeah, so very nice. Thank you, sir. Talking about the color again, everything. I appreciate that a lot. Still talking about the boat. A lot of great comments. I tell you what, man, so many great comments. Just so many. So, oh, I see one back here I want to address. C. Brown, I tell you what, he's a great commenter too and jokes all the time. He said, do you ever think about a sail? Now, when I was building that, I was thinking about putting a folding mast up on it and having a undersized sail. Listen, I am no experienced sailor at all, okay? And if I'm gonna start out in this world, even with the basic sailing, I don't want something that's gonna risk me capsizing out here and all. So I wanna do something that I feel like I could keep under control. And I'm not trying to run a race or anything like that or travel the world in that boat, travel the world in that boat. And so I just want a little undersized sail. And if you know what I mean by undersized, means I'm not going to take the mast to the maximum length for the measurements of that boat. Now there's a formula to it versus what kind of boat it is. Trimaran, catamaran, monohull. And there is a formula of where you set your mast and how tall it is and the surface area of your sail of how many square meters, square feet and all. There's a formula to that and to the max you can go. And I don't want to take it to the max, is what I'm saying. So what I mean by undersell, for the people that don't understand, means that I'm just going to throw out a number here. Say if it said that it's 200 square feet that you could have, your sale. Well, maybe I'm only going to do mine at 120 or 100. Way underselled. It's still going to push you. You're not going to be winning any races or regattas, and you're probably a whole lot less chance, to do a no flipperoni, and learn to sell with a basic Spanish style or a junk sell or something like that. So that's still on the drawing board right now. In fact, it's still heavily on my mind all the time. But if I put a sail, I'm going to have to put a rudder. Now, I have a stainless rudder down here from back when that was a banca that I could weld a bigger, when it was a little, diesel banca, and you used the pole to steer it. I've got the original stainless rudder right down here that I could weld an additional size plate to and put it back over in a different position on the boat along with the outboard and give me more turning power, especially if you're under sail. But here's the thing, with those pontoons out there right now, I feel like with that outboard, and I was telling Cap, I noticed my turning radius is a little greater now to turn that boat. It was more responsive. Of course, with the bamboo barely skimming the water, you're turning it faster. I was thinking about putting that rudder on there anyway, and attaching the way it's made, it'll be super easy to do it, attaching it with my steering on the boat right now. And so it would actually help that outboard while I'm turning. And if I popped up a sail, I can still steer from that same steering wheel. And there you go. So that's kind of cool. If I want to have a place where I can attach a manual pole onto it, steering cable brakes or something, easy to do. I've got it down here just leaning against the wall. All it takes is just a little sweat. So there you go. But I did joke with him that I have thought about selling everything I own and traveling the world. Little joke, unless somebody wants to buy me out right here. And I don't know if I'd be joking anymore. Somebody want to know if I thought that those little yellow flaps that I installed to prevent water from splashing inside the boat, do you think that they cause enough drag that you might want to angle them? I originally had them angled. I didn't like the looks of them angled. I didn't like it like that. I put them up flat where they're at. It's, that's called drag coefficient. And as slow as that boat runs, it's not like you're hauling butt in a car going down a road or anything. No more drag than that boat has. No. You asked, do I think they cause enough drag? No. Those are the size of a license plate on a car. But, like when you hit over 40 miles an hour, your scale, you got a chart. So when you're going, let's say 5 miles an hour, you got a little bit of drag, and you go up to 10, you got a little bit more drag, and 15 and 20, and that's the wind, pushing back your drag coefficient. But when you start, it's not real bad till you get up around 30 and it starts angling up a little bit more steep, faster, if you're, pretend this is a chart that I'm doing here, and you hit 40, the drag coefficient go way up. But when you hit over 50, it jumps 50 miles an hour. So after 50 miles an hour, when you hit 55 and all, that is where your drag coefficient really jumps. That is why, like back in the United States, they lowered the speed limit years ago with really, gas hungry automobiles and all to 55 miles an hour, was because that was still fast enough. People wouldn't complain too much getting around, But anything over that, the drag coefficient was so bad that it was causing the fuel economy to really drop, and it's burning up a lot of additional fuel. That's also why, like in the beginning, these Toyota Prius owners would drive slow everywhere and piss everybody off on the road, because they would drag butt at 50 miles an hour. That was the sweet spot with the drag coefficient of that car. That was the sweet spot that they could drive around and get the optimal fuel mileage out of that hybrid electric car. And so there was this whole thing, you know, of them trying to not hit the brakes too much, use the regen, coasting down the hills, creeping up the other hill, going down the road at 50, making everybody go by them. There was a whole bunch of Prius owners out there doing that to see how much fuel economy it could get, especially back during the 2000s, you know, 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and all that was a big thing. So no, those two little pieces of wood are not having any kind of more of effect than even the beams coming across. The more drag I would be worried about is in the water in that boat, not out of the water. But appreciate the comment, and see, everybody learned something. Yeah, appreciate you very much. She looks balanced. Yeah, the boat is a jewel. I'm very proud of it. Very, very proud of her. I don't want a wood carved figurehead or nothing. I want it a little bit more contemporary looking. Appreciate it though. I thought about those silly things. We all think about, you know, making it like a Viking ship or some kind of Chinese boat or something, but no, just leave it like it is. Let's don't get it too complicated. Let me tell you why. It attracts the kids that'll be swinging on it and messing with it too, you know, when you got it on shore. If you had some kind of special figure up there and all. I love the kids in this neighborhood, but they're naughty. All right, they're naughty, and they're not parents watch them all the time. They roam free and feral. They're feral children. Yeah, really are. Let's see what else we got going on here. So overall, there was some other bad comments, and I had deleted them. There's this one guy that, I don't know, man. He just thinks that, like, his mission in life is to keep making these new IDs, because I blocked the other ones, so he has to make a new one. I block it, and he has to make a new one. And he just keeps making new ones, going through the trouble to make a new Gmail ID so he can have a new ID to come on here and harass me and email me and, you know, and really try to dig in my life and all that, man. Disturb people, man. Disturb people. Yeah, disturb. And I have actually filed reports and cases so that it would have a record on it of this guy. I've got his real name, everything. You know, there's idiots in the world out there. You know, there's some crazy people that are just a little, you know, they're a little tilted, you know. And you never know what them cron, as they call it here in the Philippines, or mucho loco down in Mexico, you know. Mucho grande loco, you know. You never know what they're going to do. So I wanted to keep a record of that. So I screenshotted everything and the emails, and I had the IP address tracked. We found his name. We got all of his information. I filed a report here, and I filed a report back in my home county, back in the States. They both advised me I could press charges on him right now because the cyberbullying and all, and he stepped some boundaries that cross laws. I have the right within the next couple of years to press the charges on through. Man, you know, who would think you'd have to go through that on a YouTube vlog, you know? Man, get a life, dude, get a life. And if you don't like my channel, just go somewhere else. If you don't like me, you don't like my life, just go somewhere else. That's all you gotta do. But where you're gonna go is the jail if you keep on, because I can make it happen today. I have the right. They have already had enough that it falls underneath the statute, you know. So it's really, really crazy. And I won't say his name, and I won't show the emails, and I won't show the messages, because I don't want to empower the fool. Yeah, don't want to empower him, but he's going to find out. I'm telling you, you know the saying they have back over in the States right now. Yeah, FAFO, and yeah, you're gonna FO. You really are. It's my choice. It's in my hands right now to file charges up on him on both sides of the water. It meets all their statutes. So just weird, man. You know, I just don't even know where to begin with people like that. Let me kind of work on down through here. I have most anything bad, I just remove it. Look here, I want to wake up in the morning and I want to read something happy and kind and good. And I want other people too. We had a guest here recently, and he said, you know, they came and they stayed here for a while, and they were really great, and we super enjoyed them. He said, you know, I don't even look at your comment section anymore. He said, because I used to read it and I would see all of those bad messages. You know, this crap people write. And, you know, and it was disheartening and turned him off. Didn't turn him off to us. He still watches this. And he went through the trouble to fly here. You know, wasn't just here. He flew here to come stay here and be with us. Good, solid supporter. Appreciate you. But he didn't want to look at those bad comments. And so that's that. So, of course, the best thing I can do is just delete that stuff and block those people. And you get the really crazy ones. It's probably got like 9,000 Gmail addresses where they just keep creating another one so they can come back on and say something again. And when someone does that, there's something disturbed going on right there, you know. Something really disturbed. We'll move on here. Appreciate you, these people that write about their support to our channel. A lot of great comments. You know, why focus on a bad comment? Let's focus on a good one. It said, I don't comment much, but watch and love all your videos and will come for a visit in the next year 100%. Have a good friend from Toronto I grew up with that lives in Numancia, north up your island. Do a visit. Don't know where that is or how to pronounce it. It's still waiting for a garden nursery video. But you see, these are great people right here, man. Great people. Somebody wanted to ask here how our Nissan's holding up. It's good. I just took it yesterday and had all the what they call preventive maintenance service done. Oil change, filters, you know, all of that. Grease anything needs to be greased. JoJo told me it needed brake pads. He put brake pads on it too. It's just been a great truck, and I have no complaints on it other than I wish it turned a little tighter in the road than it does. The turning radius to me is a little lacking, but it's not a deal breaker. It's a great little truck. I love it. I love it. It is just dependable. It's always there for us. I like it. Good little truck. Good. Just kind of rolling on down through here a little bit more. Now, I got to get humor out of this, man. A couple of them. Squeeze easy 30, you know, squeeze them easy. He said, I seen you check out that boat's ass. How dare you? When you have a perfectly good boat at home. And what he's talking about is I was walking down the beach down here, and there's this one boat, red and white one, that's got double motors inside of it and double stainless steel props coming out the back. And he saw that. The next one here, this Rocket Rob 3. It says, 3 girls rescued me while I was sleeping along the road. Total truth. Total truth. Real story, not a lie. It says that Melinda and I argued. In the thumbnail, it says Melinda and I argued, and I left. And then 3 girls rescued me while I was sleeping along the road. This guy, Rocket Rob 3, he's the subscriber. He subscribed to our channel. Clickbait title, ain't watching this video. Couple bad face deals there. And then somebody wrote here, Cliffy, are you for real? The story in the title was there, and a bloody good tell it was too. You got a strange idea about the word clickbait. I agree. And that's what I wrote. I agree. And they just want to make a knee-jerk assumption and throw the word clickbait all the time. Also, the word clickbaiting, meaning that you baited them to click on the video, right? Would you go fishing without bait and expect to have a good catch, or just throw out an empty hook? So if I took you fishing and I just gave you an empty hook and said, here, catch some fish, and you're like, but there's no bait on it. Hey, I'm supposed to do that for my YouTube videos, give no bait, you know? I mean, what? I think you were just upset because you didn't get to see those 3, Filipina chicks sitting on the tailgate. It's so funny, man. It's funny. Hey, listen, man, it's just appreciate him. He's a subscriber. I appreciate him, but it was just funny that it's a clickbait. And then I always have the security people, no seatbelt usage. I'm driving slow on the little local road. I know whatever you want to say about it, wear a seatbelt, don't wear a seatbelt. It's my body. It's my body. I'm going to be the one to get hurt. But I just laugh. The safety managers. We always got the safety managers. The highway patrols and the OSHA. Yeah, highway patrols and the OSHA. Well, looking out for my safety, I guess. And here's another one. C-bait, clickbait is disingenuous. Where is it clickbait? Always clickbait word thrown out there. Do you ever take time to write a nice comment or only a negative one? And look here. Old Ronald wrote right here. Damn it, my friend. You got folks on your ass this time around, James. You got one comment, your videos are too long. You got one comment saying you're not driving well enough to suit them. We're going to get to that down here below. Then the third comment saying they don't believe your story. Say, I have no problem with any of these. Scooter's got long video syndrome. Old Ronald, man. And glad you found your Davy Sealer. Appreciate it. And I said, yeah, man, it's just like grumpy old man, I'm looking for where Walter Matthau's going to show up, So we'll move on down. We're probably getting close to some of those. Okay, yeah, you got to check this out. I mean, it's a subscriber, man, it just blows my mind. So this John James India 2, he's like, James, you're commenting on others driving again, and there's a few glaring errors in your own. Now check this out. I'm gonna hit read more. Whew. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Holy crud. Wow. And I mean, it's, dude, it's by letting the bus pass, you only had 2 seconds to your overall journey time. Well, 1 second in your case. As you always drive too closely to the vehicle in front, telling me how close I'm riding. How can you tell on a camera how many feet I have? Do you know people think I'm hauling butt on my motorcycle all the time? But the speedometer's in the video, and look down there, I'll be going 20, 30 miles an hour, 15 miles an hour, but the camera makes it look like it's fast. Action cams, right? And everybody knows everything. By speeding up, you increase, and by slowing down, you decrease the chances of rear-end collision. Hey, see, if it was closer than 2 seconds, then you should gently slow down and even then continue to drive close. man, really, I mean, I appreciate you as a viewer to a channel, but really, you are going to micro analyze all of that. Look at this, Royal Society of Prevention of Accidents and Riders Coach, and I've noticed that you're having a go at my comments in a previous video. I hadn't even read all this. In the next video, you mentioned policing and driving instructors with a disparaging comment. I don't know who you are, dude, but man, we just live in a normal life here. We live in a little small town along a road, a coastal road of numerous small towns. I'm on a road. I want you to picture this, Mr. Driver Instructor. I'm on a road covered with illegal on-the-road e-bikes and illegal little tricycles and side carts, and with motorcycle tracks and drivers that are kids that have no helmets and no driver's license, and adults with no driver's license, and hauling butt cars and jeepneys cutting in and out in front of you, and all of these things happening that ain't going on in your royal place. And I'm sorry, you're going to try to break me down right here. You're going to try to break me down right here over an occasional commentary about, oh, there's a bus on my butt right now. Well, there was a bus on my butt. Yes, yes. And there is no right speed here. You know, by the time you give it gas, it's time to hit the brake. That's the way it is here. I don't know. I don't know why that. I don't know. So I apologize if I come across as holier than thou. That is not my intention. My intention is to relay good advice and positive outcomes. Dude, we're driving down a crazy mayhem road down through here. Everybody just drives every which way, and it's kind of fend for yourself situation. Pretty much the whole country's that way. I appreciate all the positive you did right in there. And it says, well, except for a please don't get that drunk again, please. I don't know. I just, it's too much right there. It's too much. Look at that. Look at that, man. I mean, come on. I appreciate the time that you took. Apparently you need to vent a little bit or something. I don't know. I appreciate the positive, but man, that is just over analyzing. But I appreciate the time you took. Here, let me give you a thumbs up and a heart. This next one, the same thing about the 3 girls rescue me. I don't believe your story. It's the truth, so it does not matter if you believe me or not. It's a real deal, real deal. That's the wonderful thing about this country and the people, is that there is cool things happen like that, like 3 teenage girls worried about where I'm at. And they might have looked teen to me. They could have been in their 20s, right? Because you know how that is here. But there wasn't no hitting on me. They weren't like trying to hook up with the canoe or no thing like that. They said I was in an unsafe spot. It was dark. That's why I chose that spot. It's kind of dark and away from everything. And they just worried about me as a foreigner. And they're on the side of the road, and it was raining, and Mel, she can hear me talking. She's right here in the room. That old truck had such a scratched up windshield. We bought it from an old electrical contractor guy over here next door, Harpoon. It had been used and abused every which way from the sun. And man, you could not drive that truck at night, hardly with a dry windshield and cars coming. The glass was so scratched up. But now you add water on it on top of that, you can't see nothing. So when I got tempo with Melinda and we had a little tiff when we lived down in our old house, and I'm like, I'm just gonna drive away. I was using her move because she's the one that normally would go take off back then. We quit doing all that now. But it's called old and settled in. And I couldn't see the drive, pulled over on the side of the road, said, I'll just sleep right here until the rain stops and I'll drive home. And those girls were worried about me and sat there and guarded me, and then it kind of got my adrenaline up, and I ended up creeping on home and driving Here goes for my highway patrol driving instructor friend with my head stuck out the window on the side. This was years ago, probably 10 years ago, and come home. Maybe 9 years ago. True story. True story. Here's somebody asking why I don't put webcam. It said, just put up a lot of live cams on your property and let people pick and choose what they want to watch. And then you don't have to worry about doing content. And I don't know, man. I said that's a little invasive and not good for guests. Well, that ain't going to happen. Now, I ain't going to have live cams going on around here. I'm not at all. So let's see what else we got right here. Right here, you make good videos, except they are too long. They are too long. And so I just lost the interest in watching them. I clicked on this one but stopped watching it immediately. 35 minutes is a long commitment. Oh my God. 35 minutes is a long commitment in 2025. Edit. Maybe short and sweet would be more productive. Wow, 25 minutes is a long commitment in 2025. Well, without leaving this screen and losing my place, let me pull up my account here on my phone, and let's see what my last videos have been. Oh, I need to go to studio. Getting to the right account. I have more than one YouTube account. All right, so now I'm going to go to content. I don't use the studio on here a whole lot, so bear with me here. Bear with me. Content, there's the content button. Okay, and let's go to my latest videos. Let's put type videos, apply. Just taking it a second. Okay, so the video I put out today, 24 minutes. The video before that, 25 minutes. The video he spoke of, 35 minutes. And the one the day before, 45 minutes. All right? Because it was a busy day, as I said in the title. The one before that, 28 minutes, 21 minutes, 15 minutes, 23 minutes, 22 minutes, 19 minutes, 23 minutes, 17, 23, 25. Oh, here's one day, a month ago, 37 minutes. Most of my videos are right around the 22-minute mark on average, 22 minutes. So at that point in time, I had 2 days with longer videos. And so he says, you make good videos, except they're too long, and I just lost interest in watching them. 2 days I made longer videos that you said you already lost interest, you haven't watched anyway. 35 minutes is a long commitment in 2025. Now, I wrote him back. I was reading Ronald's comment down there. And I said, thank you. I jumped it here. Jumped the gun. Thank you, and sorry for your short attention span. You are a minority, and let me tell you why he's a minority. Because so many people, on the most part, are complaining when I make a short video, and they actually like to watch longer. Now, there's numerous content that I watch from many different things: motorcycles, sailboats, cars, to some Philippine stuff and everything. And we get updates from YouTube, and they give us like advice, especially a channel up my size. You can get like a person that from YouTube that helps you with your channel and all. And the current trend is not short anymore. That short thing's kind of fading away. YouTube was trying to embrace the shorts, and then they said, okay, well now the shorts had to be only this long before. Then a year or so goes by, okay, well you can make them this long now. Okay, well now you can make them this long. Well now you can make them this long. Well now how long a short can be is what it used to be required for a long form video. And the reason being is because they found that people are getting over their ADHD, and they're wanting longer content again. And now they're encouraging us again, recommending that we make longer content. And the algorithm knows, their software is talking back to them. You know, their feedback and data is giving them what people want. They want longer content. So I'm going to read this. It says, you, sir, are the minority. This is me speaking to him. Most other are writing me in my email and even here liking the longer videos. Fun fact, only the last 2 videos have been longer. This one's going to be long. I'll tell you that right now. I said, let's examine your statement. You said that I make good videos, but they're too long. This content is mixed in them. So in a few minutes, something new will be happening. I might be over at the boat, and then I'm up over here, and then I'm showing Melinda's garden, or I might be at a hardware store. I'm showing, you know, a neat thing to look at on the side of the road or anything like that. So it's not like I'm just sitting there with a paintbrush for 45 minutes, you know, and you got to watch the paint dry. You said I make good videos, but they're too long. The content is mixed, so in a few minutes, something new will be happening. You will switch to another video to see something else. Just stay on this one, you're going to see something else. And to another video with different vloggers, and I bet you then will complain that you have nothing left to watch. There's nothing out here. You know, you done browse through everything fast. That's not the vlogger's fault, that's your fault. And you have nothing left to watch. If our videos, misspelled right there, are good, why not watch them instead of being ADHD? ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. This is the definition of it out there. That symptoms include inattention, not being able to keep focus, hyperactivity, excessive movement that is not fitting to the setting, impulsive, hasty acts that occur in the moment without thought. This is a rampant problem in today's society. The problem is not us or our length of videos. Another fun fact, YouTube started out shorts, as I just said a minute ago, due to this issue. You say it's 2025 like I'm behind times. Their shorts policy has been extended longer and longer. And why? Because the new studies show the market is leaning back to long form videos again. And I'm watching channels out there, you know, they got 300,000-400,000, 1 million subscribers, and now all of their videos 45 minutes to an hour and a half to 2.5 hours long for one video. And they're getting, you know, their views. So the short form is just a fad, and I know it is, that it's causing health issues, the same as a drug addict. And it says, I put why? Because it's triggering dopamine response. And this is a true studies out there, right? All that little short click, 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 reels, Facebook, click, 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 TikTok, click, click, click. You're just feeding your brain dopamine. And just like if you're on cocaine or something, right? And eventually your body starts wearing down from that. Believe it or not, even from just watching those videos. Because too much dopamine to your brain causes issues just like it does with the cocaine or anything like that. And it's a real deal that causes severe health and mental issues. And I would suggest to find a hobby or spend some time outdoors and limit your hours online. To all of you, I'm telling you. I know I'm a vlogger. I should tell you to sit here and just watch us. I'm telling you, get out and do something. If you can, if you're disabled or something, just try to find anything that you can even do in sitting. Paint something, draw something, work a puzzle. But don't get hooked into dramas and that fast next. Man, it's just destroying societies right now. The studies show that the smartphones are actually making people dumber, not smarter. Isn't that ironic, right? You got all the wealth of the world in your hand and you're becoming more stupid because it's all how you use it. So, but I said I do appreciate you and your support, and God bless. But I'm really serious on the other things I said, you know. It doesn't make sense. You know, you're going to just leave it because you say it's too long, but yet you say you like the videos. But I know that you're just buzzing channels. I know it. So y'all can read what you want there. All right, let's see here. Scroll on down here a little bit. Don't know if there's anything else I'm going to keep going with right now. Can you spray paint? Can you spray paint with that Mega Krill primer and paint? Yeah, you can put that in a paint rig and spray with it. I mean, it's no problem at all if you got a paint rig. But for us, well, I just rather roll. I rather roll and just keep it simple. So, you know, I just want to cover a little bit of this, have a little fun, talk about a few things. Just enjoy and talk about things and just do something a little different with you guys. I hope that you all enjoyed this video. I hope I didn't offend nobody. It's not my point. I am very straightforward. I am to the point. I don't tell lies on here. The stories I tell are true stories. Melinda and I, we do joke with each other a lot. You know, Jeannie is not somebody I'm cheating with. I'm not really wanting someone younger. As we started the beginning of this video out with, that is some just goofy little things my wife and I do. And as I said, y'all hadn't met Isabella yet. Y'all gonna meet Isabella soon. Isabella, so the high class girl. Everybody take care. God bless. Appreciate all of you that comment, even the ones that have like gonna break down my driving. All of you, I appreciate you. And just keep lighthearted and keep smiling, keep enjoying, keep loving life. It's short, and we'll talk to you on the next one.